Every once in a while I get asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement or confidentiality agreement or something like that that says that whatever secrets I'm about to hear I can't share with anybody else without getting sued or having to pay some kind of fine or something like that. And I always sign it, but the whole thing seems kind of pointless to me. And this is one of those topics where inevitably somebody's gonna come up with a story where they've been burned and somebody stole their idea and wanted to make millions and millions and millions of dollars, whether it's a story like the Mark Zuckerberg thing or something on a smaller scale. But 99.9% of the time, your idea isn't worth anything. I used to do more work with startup companies, and now just the way our client base works and the referrals that have come in, they tend to be bigger, more established companies. But when working with startups, we would spend a ridiculous amount of time talking about how to protect their idea. Like, they were always so paranoid about somebody else getting there first. In the meantime, while they were wasting time thinking about how to protect stuff, somebody else was actually testing, shipping, iterating, listening to customers, talking to future prospects, and making the things that mattered. The point is, your idea isn't worth anything. There are a million ideas out there. Go to the patent office. There's way more patents that have ever been issued than products that have been produced and marketed commercially. I think ideas have value in the sense that they can be the beginning of execution, but an idea that never gets to execution is worthless. The interesting thing is that if your idea really is worth something at all, somebody else has probably had it too. Like, good ideas have a way of doing that. It's a good idea because it has wide application. It's a good idea because when it is brought into the world, it seems obvious. It seems like the obvious solution to some problem that people have been having. Well, if it's that obvious, if it's that smack your head moment where people go, I have to have this, there's a pretty good chance somebody else has thought of something identical or similar. The race is who's going to be able to get it to the people who have the problem first at a price that they want to purchase it at a cost that makes the business profitable, et cetera, et cetera. I always hear people get kind of deflated when they come up with what they think is a great idea and they found out that somebody else has that same idea. The exact opposite should be the case. If you come up with a great idea, it means that you've recognized a problem that's out there in the world and you have a solution for it. The fact that somebody else has come up with that same solution means that that problem is big enough that you can build a business around it. Stop thinking about the idea and work on bringing it to the market. Start building something, start creating something, make the business happen. Be the best one at serving the customers, be the best one at delivering the solution that can fix their problem. And guess what? Your idea will have been worth something, but it's only because you worked your butt off and you got to execute it faster than somebody else did. All this talk about execution doesn't mean that I think ideas aren't an important part of the process. And I think thinking and taking time away to think and be creative and think of new strategies, new ideas, new products, new services is something that every business owner should be doing. The problem is that business owners who are really good at execution rarely take the time to just sit down and think. And people who are really good at sitting down and thinking rarely take the time and energy to execute. So you have these like two disparate groups of people. When you find that rare individual who takes time to think, but also does the hard work of execution between thinking sessions, you usually find a pretty good business person. I'll see you guys tomorrow.